Protecting yourself physically and emotionally with compassionate detachment. In some relationships, you have to protect yourself physically and emotionally. So let's talk about that. Welcome to Resilience This Week, the weekly show that helps you become a more resilient person. This week, we are diving into how to protect yourself physically and emotionally when you are in a tough relationship. So I hope you'll join us for the entire show. I'm Stacy Brookman, life storytelling and resilience expert and host of the Real Life Resilience podcast, the Life Story Laboratory, and the Emotional Abuse Recovery and Resilience Summit. I am so glad you're here because we have a great lineup of videos, and this is just one of them. I have a question of the day. Have you ever experienced emotional abuse without physical abuse, or physical abuse without emotional abuse? If so, when did you recognize it? Share what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. So here's the deal. Physical abuse and emotional abuse are common when there's an imbalance of power in a relationship. If one partner dominates the other, that imbalance of power often slides into abuse so subtly that the victim doesn't even realize it until years down the road. Sometimes you're not able to get out of that situation right away or at all. Or maybe you're out, but you're raising kids with the abusive person and having to co-parent. Or maybe you don't want to even leave the relationship. In any of these cases, you still need to protect yourself from physical and emotional abuse. The answer is to detach yourself in a way that's compassionate, but helps protect you from further harm. Now, there are lots of ways to detach. Some of them are healthy and some are unhealthy. But first, let me state that if you fear for your safety or that of your kids, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It's 1-800-799-7233. Their website is thehotline.org, and it has an emergency exit button that doesn't show in your browser history, so you can feel safe exploring their resources. The hotline will connect you with a local shelter or police or whatever resources you might need at the time. So feel free to call them even if you're just exploring the subject. Don't think that your situation isn't bad enough or that you would be bothering them or anything. Please call if you're worried in any way about your situation. Okay, now that we have that established, I wanted to share something that I came across a while back, and it was really intriguing to me because I've done it to a certain extent back in my abusive relationship. It's a concept called compassionate detachment. Sometimes the answer in a tough situation is to detach yourself in a way that's compassionate, but helps to protect you from further harm. You know, most human beings desire to be compassionate toward fellow humans. People who are in a relationship with an abusive person often feel responsible for the abuser's feelings, and an even deeper sense of wanting to help fix the situation, or that they're responsible. The abuser takes advantage of this and uses that compassion to manipulate their partner. It's good to be compassionate, but not to be manipulated with it. So operating with compassionate detachment may help you as well as might help the other person. So what in the world does this mean? Compassionate detachment allows you to feel compassion for the abusive person, but at the same time, allowing them to own their own feelings, fix their own problems, and be responsible for themselves and their own anger and their feelings. So let's talk about how to do that. Step number one is to step back and take a true look at the situation. Often, the abuser will drag you into their problems, blame you for their problems, or their feelings of anger or whatever they're feeling. They'll even blame you for their abuse, saying that you deserve it. Here's a great tip. Writing brings clarity to what the situation really is, who's really in control of it, and the role each person plays. Give yourself some time and space to write out what has happened in the last week or the last month, including what each person said or did and how you felt about it. Writing brings incredible clarity. Maybe go for a walk or go to a coffee shop to get away from the situation briefly to think and to write. This is the big picture. Listen, if you're in the midst of a physically or emotionally abusive episode, call the hotline I mentioned above. Don't hesitate. Don't wait it out. Just call. Okay, back to taking a true look at the situation. Step number 2 is to evaluate the situation. Are you being blamed for something that really isn't your fault? Are you taking ownership of aspects of the situation that really aren't yours to own? Do you feel the need to fix something or go out of your way to make the person feel better or help them with their problem? Get really curious about that situation. And maybe even look at it as if it were someone else's relationship and you were just, maybe you're like a third party looking down and observing the whole thing. Again, writing these things out really helps here. And you might find that the other person has blown everything out of proportion and their anger isn't warranted. That is so often the case. It's really being manipulative. Or they're taking a really tiny thing that you did and blaming you for something that really isn't your fault. You may even discover that the abuser is using the situation to manipulate you emotionally, tear you down, and cause you to doubt yourself. Or even cause you to lower your boundaries and agree to things you wouldn't normally agree to. This evaluation is critical for seeing the situation for what it really is. Okay, the third step is to take action by not jumping in. This is so hard. You want to help. You want to say something to ease their anger or their pain or frustration, or to explain yourself, or to fix, fix, fix. Just stop. I know, easier said than done. It might help yourself to start asking, why do I feel the need to fix this for my partner? Why am I reluctant to hold this person accountable for their own feelings and actions? When did this all start? What would happen if I just didn't respond? What would happen if I upheld my boundaries? What are my good qualities? And what do I respect about myself that my partner should also respect? Listen, you get to decide how you want to be treated and accept nothing less. Even if it's been a pattern for decades, you can start standing up for yourself and demanding respect. It definitely takes practice. Believe me, I have been there. I've gone through all of this myself as well. When you detach yourself from the situation and start to see it for what it really is, and you allow your partner to experience their own consequences, you're allowing them to grow up, to manage their own feelings, and to take responsibility for themselves. That's healthy. Not holding them accountable for their unhealthy choices prevents them from learning to help themselves and managing their own emotions. This will take time, of course. Be patient with and compassionate towards yourself because you deserve that compassion. When you set boundaries, you've set an example of how you want to be treated and respected. Think about what boundaries you need to have and write them down. I'll link in the description a great Psychology Today article which describes some of the ways to practice compassionate detachment. And here are a few of them. Refuse to engage in a conversation with someone who's being irrational, disrespectful, or hostile. Don't allow someone to affect your moods, thoughts, preferences, opinions, or plans. Realize that you are not responsible for the shortcomings, failures, or poor choices of others. Understand that you are not being selfish when you protect yourself from someone who hurts you, emotionally or physically. Accept that you can still love someone and need to protect yourself from him or her. Recognize that you deserve to be loved, respected, and treated with kindness. Focus on the opportunities you have for fulfilling your potential and creating the life you want. You know, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to create a support network of friends and family to help you through tough times. Often, abusers try to distance you from your friends and family, but spending time with other people you care about helps you enjoy life more. So identify people in your life who are reliable and trustworthy. Invite these people to spend time with you and communicate with them often through talking and text. That is healthy communication. The next series I'm going to do is all about finding the new you, building your core confidence, and building up your support system and friends. So stay tuned for upcoming videos on those topics. All right, to summarize this video, compassionate detachment may be the key in getting your life back and yourself back and protecting yourself from physical and emotional abuse. I also have a deeper dive video I'd like to share with you. And this one is called How to Find a Great Therapist. Because often a great therapist can help you through some of these tough times. And sometimes therapists don't understand if they're not trauma informed. So let's help you find a great therapist. You'll find the link below. I really appreciate all my fans. I'm thankful for everyone who's watching and also sharing the show with your friends who may want to be more resilient as well. I will catch you next week on Resilience This Week. My name is Stacy Brookman. Women leverage me to unleash their stories and discover their hard-won wisdom so they can command their personal power and emerge resilient and joyful. Because so many are trapped in a cycle of crazy, depleted emotionally, and live with the scars of emotional abuse and low self-esteem. I help them gain clarity from their life lessons, lean on their hard-won wisdom, and have power to feel confident in themselves again. Will you join me? Click here to do so.